I'm really starting to think that the whole Cody Rhodes situation with The Rock is slowly being morphed into a new yes movement, and the WWE are going to claim that we've all been worked this whole time. See, we only get a couple of references to any real life controversy happening on a WWE show, but this Raw was absolutely littered. We also saw a tweet from Cody Rhodes go out saying, "Appreciate the passion, God bless you all, but trust me." If he was told by WWE to put that, that's daft. I feel like he's telling us to just calm down because all of our anger and frustration is pointless. It's starting to really make the press conference coming on Thursday one to watch. Hello guys, welcome back to the main event, and here we are reviewing Monday Night Raw from the 5th of February 2024 from St. Louis. It was a pretty good show altogether. I thought it was pretty fun, and we're going to go through it. Some things are going to get more talking points than the others because there was some really bad stuff on the show, but there was also some really good stuff. So remember to hit the subscribe button down below, because if you haven't, you've got a small PP. We start with Seth Rollins coming to the ring and calling out Cody after chants of "We want Cody" bellow around the arena, and it's quite loud, let's say. Cody then comes down to the ring and the crowd start chanting "Rocky sucks." Michael Cole then asks if it's 1996 again. Good one, Michael. Seth then speaks to Cody saying that he really wants the world title match against him because he's got a point to prove and he really gets what Cody's going through. I'm sorry, Seth. I don't remember a single time your WrestleMania main event was taken away from you by a part-time 50-odd-year-old Hollywood actor. You know nothing about what is going on, boy. Drew then comes out and says how he took out Punk last week for Seth because he knows how much Seth hates him. Also, it's to totally set up Drew versus Seth for Mania, even though Seth does make the point that he has beaten Drew twice before. Then excuses, blah, 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 until he ends up taking out Rollins, and then Cody gets Drew out of the ring. It was a very strong segment. It is consistently feeding to me thinking that this has all been a work the whole time with The Rock. But the one thing I really enjoyed about this was Drew's new piece of merch, which was a black t-shirt with a gravestone on it saying CM Punk's WrestleMania main event 24-24 and Drew McIntyre's face on it, all happy daisy like. We're then treated to a fatal four-way tag team match between DIY, the Creed Brothers, Imperium and the New Day. The winners go on to face Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne on SmackDown this week, and the winners of that will then go to Elimination Chamber to fight the Judgment Day for the belts. This was a very, very fun match. It was just good tag team wrestling all over, a lot of high spots, especially with who was in the match. But the stars of this were the Creed Brothers. I can't stress how good they are, especially Julius Creed when he goes off doing suplexes to everybody, and then Brutus doing a Brutus bomb to everybody on the outside of the ring. Absolute work of art. It's a shame that they've not been used as much since they lost to the Judgment Day. Continue to build them. Cook, put them in a pan and cook them. In the end though, DIY do pick up the win, so we'll be getting Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate all in a ring together on Friday. Oh, SmackDown might be one to watch. We headed straight into the next match, which was Becky Lynch versus Shayna Baszler for the first spot in the Elimination Chamber match in Perth. It was a pretty standard back and forth match, as to be expected with a Becky Lynch match, or to be fair, a Raw women's match. Shayna had a great showing as she continues to show how technically brilliant she is in the ring. Becky hits a manhandle slam though and gets the win 1-2-3, enters her first Elimination Chamber match and will probably win, let's be fair. I'm still bugged with Shayna and Zoe Stark not getting their women's tag team title match yet, as they were named #1 contenders at the start of this year, and there's still been no match. What is going on? We then see Liv Morgan talking to Kathy Kelly backstage, and Liv Morgan's got a little bit more grit about her, if you know what I mean. And she talks about how Rhea Ripley took away nearly a year of her career and wants revenge for it. Perfectly fine. Good to see Liv back. We see Pierce kicking off at Drew in his office and then finds him for attacking an injured Seth and an injured Punk, because they're injured, and that's very naughty, Drew. But then Rhea Ripley's music goes off, and Pierce looks all confused because Rhea shouldn't be coming out, he's got the running sheet. So we used the segment's ending to transition into the next segment. It's really rare we actually ever see that. When it was Kevin Dunn, it used to be, nope, end of segment, we are done here. No. We then see Rhea in the ring and she's kicking off that she wants to fight Nia Jax, to which Pierce then comes out and announces he's made the match between the two at the Elimination Chamber. Nia enters and the two women begin to brawl until the security comes out, but the security cannot hold them down, just like every other brawl that ever happens ever. The security are rubbish. And then Nia ends up hitting the Annihilator on Rhea. Then we get the mixed tag team match. Alpha Academy Akira Tozawa and Maxine Dupri take on Ivar and Valhalla, and this match sucked. Maxine Dupri continues to show that they are rushing her and she is not ready for the ring after she hit some really horrible moves. So please just stop putting her in matches until she is ready. Send her back to the PC to train. She can be on TV, just not in the ring. And then the Vikings win. The best part of this whole match was Michael banging on about Valhalla not wearing the antlers and Pat McAfee just going to town on him, calling Michael Cole an idiot because Valhalla is not wearing the antlers does not mean she's not a bloody Viking. Good on you, Pat. Starting to grow on you, lad. Judgment Day is then seen backstage talking about who they'd rather face out of DIY or Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. And then in comes R-Truth, who says he understands that the attack that happened on him last week was just another initiation. The Judgment Day members all get sick of seeing Truth, so leave Damien to say to him to enjoy the clubhouse. I really think R-Truth is a genius and has concocted a mastermind plan to try and get Damian Priest's Money in the Bank briefcase or get the tag team titles off them with The Miz. To which The Miz then backs up, saying that he also thinks that R-Truth is a genius or an idiot. Miz then takes on JD McDon in a pretty simple match, pretty standard, until R-Truth comes out and starts handing t-shirts around to all the crowd members. Dominic Mysterio then gets distracted as R-Truth puts a Judgment Day t-shirt over his head. JD then gets offered his cut from the merch. He takes it, but then gets hit with a skull-crushing finale. Pinned 1, 2, 3. It was good. Backstage, we then see Pierce talking to Imperium about Gunther's celebration, and then Bron Breakker enters to discuss contracts. Shane Bron's probably not coming up with Corbin because the Wolf Dogs, or the assholes, or whatever you want to call them, they're possibly the best team in wrestling right now. We then see footage of Punk going for surgery, and here it was successful. It's still a big shame he's going to be out for quite a while though. Then we get Gunther's 600-day title celebration, to which the Austrian tells Ludwig he doesn't want one anymore. He's done with them. He doesn't want to celebrate hitting 700, 800, 900, 1,000 days. Gunther then says he's running out of competition, there's no one to fight him, but out comes Jey Uso. Respect is shown between the two men, even though Gunther thought originally Jey was going to disrespect him, but then Gunther does the disrespecting, saying that Jey is a well-accomplished wrestler, but only did 50% of the work. Oh, Gunther, you're so mean, aren't you? Jey and Gunther end up brawling until Imperium make it a 3-on-1, and then the New Day come for a save. A 6-man tag match between the two teams is made for next week. This was all really good fun, and I totally thought Jey Uso was going to be the next person fighting Gunther because it only made sense when Jey started hanging out with the New Day. I just don't want Jey Uso to beat Gunther. Jey is still blatantly on track to fight Jimmy at WrestleMania, and putting a title in that just doesn't work. There's more in it just being a blood rivalry. We then see Nakamura cut a promo about Cody Rhodes, I'm going to beat him in the main event, blah, 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 blah. Nakamura, I was in Japan, Nakamura, blah, 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 blah. He'll still lose anyway, won't he? Then it was time for the Women's Tag Team Championship rematch between Chance and Carter and the Kabuki Warriors. Again, just another good tag team match, I guess, just like the one where the Kabuki Warriors won the titles. There was a nice little bit of back and forth between the two teams, some really great tag spots between the two, but in the end, we did see the Kabuki Warriors win. Kind of glad that was the result because I thought Bayley was going to come out and cost the Kabuki Warriors the tag team titles, so the titles would have been Hot Shot, and I'm not a fan of Hot Shot in titles. We then see a video package of Jackie Redmond getting an interview with Sami Zayn, who went to the arena to not be on the main show, but just had to sit in the gods and just do nothing for the rest of the show. In an emotional promo, Sami speaks about how he's been thinking about how Drew McIntyre has been handling him. The segment ended with Sami saying, I may fight like an underdog, but I'm not an underdog anymore. Powerful words. You haven't been an underdog for a long time. It's actually made me think that the WrestleMania match with Seth will be against Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn for the world title, the 3 main workhorses on Raw. That's all if Cody isn't involved with Seth at Mania. Speaking of Cody, it's now time for the main event bull rope match between him and Nakamura, which was as fun as it could be, I guess. One of my favourite moments, though, was when they try to get a shot of Cody with a We Want Cody sign in the background, but the Cody was upside down. It feels like the disaster we're currently going through with the booking. Cody then dominates for majority of the match. Nakamura gets his wiggle move where he stands on him and goes, wiggle, which apparently hurts people. I don't think it would. I'm not going to test it, though. We see Cody get misted, but go all Super Rhodes and still hit Nakamura with a Crossroads. Cody then avoids a Kinshasa and hits Nakamura with a low blow with the rope, hits a Crossroads, gets the win. Pretty simple. we're gonna go off air happy. But no, Drew McIntyre attacks Cody Rhodes to end the show. Dastardly Drew. All in all, it was a good show. There was some terrible wrestling, but then there was a lot of solid wrestling, and to be honest, wrestling kind of took over a majority of the show. There was a lot of references to the press conference on Thursday, so I'm feeling like something big's gonna happen. It's not just gonna be The Rock versus Roman Reigns is made. But yeah, I enjoyed Raw. It was a good time. But what did you think about Raw? I want to hear it. Please put it down in the comments. Please leave a like on the video. Please hit subscribe to the channel, please. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Toby. This has been the main event, and I'll see you soon.